CWR.
Black Words Matter is a project created by Birmingham Young Filmmakers Network, which has seen its members who are aged between 16 to 21 collaborate with local poets to create 3 short films inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. The event is premiering online Thursday the 7th of October, so this coming Thursday, and we have one of the producers, Aresa Foster, and one of the artists, Ivana Pauline, on the line to talk to me now. Hello and good evening to you, Aresa and Ivana.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining me here on the show this evening. Now, let me start with you, Aresa. Am I saying that correct as well?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, that's very good for me. Now, look, tell us about how this came about, this collaborating with local poets.
Yeah, sure. So the BYFN, which is the Young Filmmakers Network, we were all very keen to make a project that was looking at the lives of Black lives, and particularly young people. And I think it's really important that we hear their story and hear their perspective on why Black Lives Matter. And it was really important as filmmakers to be able to put that to the screen. And it was just a really important topic and subject, and it was something that was really exciting to be able to delve into with all these creatives involved.
Very, very much so. Although, as I said last week, again, this Sunday is the first official Sunday in Black History Month. But, Black lives have always mattered. So it's a mixture of two things. But do you think it's because of how the death of George Floyd, the killing of George Floyd, just brought things to a head and brought things to attention to a wider audience who haven't really chosen to look at people's lives in that way?
Yeah, I think so. I think the death of George Floyd sparked so much attention and awareness, like you say, like never before. And it just really showed that actually this whole Black Lives Matter movement is still very much impacting in this present day in the 21st century. Yeah. So it's just brought even bigger attention to, bring that to life nowadays.
Thank you, Aresa. Ivana, let me turn to you then. Why did you get involved in the project and your love for film in the first place? Where did that come from?
Well, this project really spoke to me as someone who writes poetry, spoken word. I felt like this was a platform for me as a Black person to translate my experience through art to a bigger platform. And
your poem is called what? That's going to feature as part of the film or films?
Yeah, so my spoken word poem is called Sankofa, and that derives from the Tree language from Ghana, and it means to not forget where you've come from. And I feel like the spoken word piece kind of illustrates my experience as a Black person living in England who is strongly connected to their Ghanaian heritage. And how that experience plays out living here.
Yeah, in fact, Ivana, doing this, and you, of course, would have had numerous conversations with your peers and others who are involved in this. How do a lot of your peers see this, especially if they're non-Black?
Well, I think that, as you were mentioning before, the murder of George Floyd, the mistreatment and marginalisation of Black people has been happening since the beginning of time. And a lot of these things happen where people then start to try to understand more about their own, prejudiced beliefs, their own, maybe racist ideologies. And I think that it was a time for people to be more aware of how their own behaviour can continue to marginalise Black people and a way to educate and change that.
And so seeing your work, and obviously a very powerful title to give your poem, what was it like seeing it visually being put out there in that form?
It was an amazing experience. It was something that I enjoyed doing, working with a lot of other creative young people too. And seeing how we could work together to really put this in a light which represented what my poem was trying to translate. So it was a really beautiful experience.
And let me turn back to you, Aresa. I'm very pleased to say that Ruth Holder is a young lady who we followed here in a sense on Sunday Night with Nikki Tapper. She's directed your work, so that's great to hear for you, Ivana. But Aresa, how can people find out a lot more, in particular with it being an online event? How's that going to work this coming Thursday, the 7th of October, and how they can get tickets?
Yeah, sure. So if you head to the BYFN Instagram, and on the bio, there's a link to register for Eventbrite tickets. And it's 7th of October, as you say. It's at 7 p.m. And it's going to be via Zoom, which is very interesting, of course. Obviously, film is a very collaborative process, and it's nice to see people in person, have a premiere. But the fact that we get to do it on Zoom and online and just connect and see everything come together, even if it is online, is kind of cool. So, yeah, very excited for that.
Okay, so again, just for those who didn't catch how they can get in touch, especially for some people, they'll be like, I'm not on the socials.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
how could I look for it and then, in fact, book that way?
Yeah, so if you go onto the BYFN, so the Birmingham Young Filmmakers Network, if you go onto their website, you'll be able to look on and you'll see the Black Words Matter online premiere on their website.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And Ivana, again, your poem's called Sankofa?
Yes, Sankofa.
And how can people follow you? Are you on the socials?
Yes, I am at _Goddess Flows. I upload my poetry, spoken word pieces.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Thank you both. Aresa Foster and Ivana Pauline, both part of the Birmingham Young Films Network, the premiering of films, of these poems inspired by Black Lives Matter is going to be premiered this coming Thursday on Zoom, Thursday the 7th of October. Go to the BYFN website or socials with those initials. Thank you again both for being on there. And also part of the film team will be Ivana's poem we've heard there, Hey Pretty Black Girl, a poem by Ryan Sinclair, directed and produced by Aresa Foster, who we've just spoken to, and Jonathan Terine, and also The N-Word Juice, a poem by Mia Carmen, directed again by Jonathan Terine and produced by Aresa Foster. So great talent and art being shared and created with those young people. Black Words Matter, a project there.
BBC CWR